All right, folks, we are back. It's Tuesday. Y'all saw me yesterday. I'm on fire, folks. I'm on fire. I'm here with my main man, Dusty, today, y'all. We're doing it like we do it every Tuesday, 6 o'clock PST. It's going down like this, y'all. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Me and my man Dusty. This is how we do it. N.W.A. stories with Lonzo, featuring Dusty Vision. Let's make it happen, folks.
Yeah.
What up?
Lonzo. Been a busy man this week, huh?
Man, hold on. Before we go there, let me see if my project working out. Hold on. Let me show you something right quick.
Oh, do your thing.
I've been working. The Eve After Dark. You saw it featured in the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, 50-Yard Line. The Eve After Dark documentary has become a film festival favorite. Now available on Amazon Prime, $1.99 to rent, $4.99 to purchase. Eve After Dark, where it all started. The documentary, now on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right, there you go, Doc. You know what, man? Okay. I was playing with this thing. I got it to work, and for some reason, it stayed on a lot longer than it was supposed to. Anyway, I know how to fix it. I know how to fix it.
Cool. All right, we back. All right, chat room saying we back. Chat room is saying we're back.
I won't play that son bitch again. Oh man, go ahead, Doc. Do your thing.
Yeah, man. Got a lot to talk about this week, as always, Lonzo. Probably one of the bigger stories, this hot off the press, just a few hours old. Rapper YFN Lucci, very popular rapper who was beefing very heavily with Young Thug and his YSL camp, which is one of the reasons both of their camps got caught up in a RICO. Well, he was the biggest rapper in this case on that team, Lonzo, and it just came out that he was sentenced to 20 years in prison for pleading guilty to one count of violation of the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. Now, you said something back in the past that stood out when I read this, Lonzo. You said brothers will ball out for 5 years just to do 20 in prison. Break that down for me, man.
You know, I watched it on, damn it, what's that show? One of those television shows, BMF. And when I saw it, they actually said something to that effect. Brothers, the two brothers, they doing their dope thing, and they was trying to get out, and they've been balling all this time, and they knew the feds was coming on them. They knew they was about to get busted. They was like, dude, if we do so and so, we can get out in 20 years. And I'm like, huh? But that's the mindset of a lot of these cats. They'll take their 20, they'll take a 10-year shine for a 20-year bid. And I think that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard in all my life, dude. It's, the allure of being a street legend, being a kingpin, being a boss, being whatever it is that they think they are, that little time they shine, dude, is worth the rest of their lives. And I'll never understand that, dude. I'll never understand it.
Yeah, and it's safe to say that 20 years in prison, your rap career at least is pretty much over, right? I mean, they're going to find a new thing in a couple weeks.
You're through with rap. You through with heterosexual sex. You through with cash money. You through with steaks. You through with all kinds of shit, man. You just wrapped up a whole lot driving. Oh, that shit's over with. Okay, all that you don't think about that, man. Guys don't think about, man. You drove your last car, dude. You probably slept with your last woman unless you get lucky. One of them crazy prison with female guards is tricking. But for the most part, you through with heterosexual sex, doc. Okay. Technically. Now, if something happened, good luck to you. But for the most part, that's no longer on your agenda. And
OG Steve, good looking out.
I didn't see that, Steve. I ain't got the chat room open.
Much love. Yeah, just came in. Good looking out. He said he watched the Eve After Dark documentary on Amazon Prime. Salute.
Much love, Steve. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Yeah, Doc. So when you it's like I've seen people to do things on the streets, man. It just go so hard, and even in real life, people love to eat so much they'll just eat, and they know they're gonna get diabetes and get a heart attack. Oh, give a damn. I did it my way. I enjoyed my life. Did you really? You won't. No matter what you do, you will not leave this joint alive. Okay, but you want to go out with some kind of dignity, man. And that's the part. A lot of folks just, hey, man, I'd rather do what I want to do, and whatever happens, happens. Hey, that's pretty much the whole philosophy.
Yeah. We haven't talked about this in a long time, but you've sat down in behind bars, couple minor incidences, couple here and there days and things like that. But there was one time where you could have sat down for a very long time. Can you take us back to that day and how you were feeling when you almost got, I forgot what the charge was, but it could have been something very serious.
Attempted murder.
Yeah.
It was attempted murder. One thing I learned about the police and the judicial system, they always stick you with the highest shit. So your bail is high. You quick to negotiate. Especially if you didn't do what they said they did, but the asshole in them is so prevalent. They're gonna make sure that they're gonna make you think you did what you think that you didn't do. And me and a guy got into it at the club. And it was a crazy night, man. This dude he was working for me, and he decided he wanted to have his own little admission fee. So he would bust open the back door and charge $3. I'm charging $5 in the front. He charging $3 in the back. And I kept noticing every week my back door was busted open because we had a panic bar. Technically, the door is supposed to be open for fires. It's a little push bar called the panic bar. And I would lock it because the guys would leave it open sometime and let people in the back door. So I locked the door. I know it was against the law, but I had to do what I had to do. Well, this dude was a big dude. He would hit the panic bar and bust the lock. Every other week, I'm putting a new lock on this door. So this one day, I caught him doing it. My girl said, how did this guy get in the club? Blah, blah, blah. I checked the lock, and I jammed homeboy, man. Homeboy let me in. Okay, nigga, you fired. So he goes down to the club downstairs, and he's talking to my dad, trying to get my dad to feel sorry for him. So I let him get his job back. Now, my daddy was always intervening with stuff from time to time, but most of the time he stayed out of my shit. Okay. Said, no, dude, he can't get his job back. I didn't even have a chance to tell my daddy what happened. So my dad, being the kind of guy that he is, he bought the guy a drink. And I told homeboy, I says, hey man, you got the property, dude. I don't even want you on the property. So as he is going to, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking to my dad, and I come back in the club. I make a security run around the club, and I saw homeboy stash something under the garbage can by the gas station. I came back in the club, hollered at my dad, and my dad's girlfriend was crying. She says, somebody stole my purse. I said, wait a minute, let me go check something. Because I saw him stash something under the trash can by the gas station. I go to the gas station trash can and come back. That was my girlfriend's purse. I saw him stash it under the trash can. He goes, oh, I didn't do that. You a lying. I think, well, brown eyes don't lie. Leave the property now. So my daddy had bought the fool a drink. He took the drink to the head. So we arguing for a few minutes, and he decided he gonna leave. But I guess by now this drinking kind of fired him up a little bit. As he's leaving, he gets pissed off. He goes out of one of the doors. We were standing by the door. A lady was coming out the door, and he shoved the door shut. And homegirl was a good customer of mine. She was a good customer. She had ice all in her hair and shit, little small lady. And it pissed me off, dude. I said, man, go, get off the property. So as he walked past me, I stole on him. Bam! Bam! He's a big dude. He's about 6'3", about 260. I wasn't as big as I am right now. And I took him one right behind the ear, took him to the ground. I'm about to do the LA stomp on his ass because he didn't piss me off. And my partners stopped me. It's a one-on-one fight, but my partners stopped me, gave this cat a chance to get up and gather his faculties. I didn't want to fight this bitch, some bitch like that. When I had him, I wanted to finish him. So I pulled my gun out. Bam, hey, bro, get off the property. Go home. Get out of here. Oh, man, how you going to pull your gun in? Man, get out of here. I don't want no problems. Go, leave. Oh, man, I'll whoop your ass. I said, bro, don't play with me. Move. So all I did was buy out that one up in the air. I said, next one going through your ass. Okay? Just so happened, the police was coming down the street. This dude took off running down the street. He met the police down the street, brought him back. He hopped in the back seat of the car, brought him back. And I didn't have to, usually, anytime I've had to use my gun back in the day, I'd always take it and stick it in the safe. They needed a warrant to get it out of the safe. I had a drop safe. They needed a warrant to go to the safe. This time, I didn't have a chance to get to the safe. Cop pulled me, came over to the club. You got a gun? I said, yep. And because I know the law, as long as I'm on the private property, I can have my gun. But now the cop didn't call me off. I'm on the sidewalk. I'm in public property. I'm in violation. But I'm trying to, I didn't think I'd done nothing, so I'm trying to play past the legalities. Man, the cop smelled my gun. It was fresh gun, a bullet didn't pass through the something gun. And homeboy started crying, oh, man, he shot at me. Whoa. So they put us both in the car. Took us down to the jail. All the time we in the backseat of the car. He ain't crying now. We both handcuffed in the car. I'll get you in jail. I'm going to fuck you. When we get to jail. Oh, yeah, he was talking big shit from the police. When we get to jail, they put us in different cells. And they booked me for attempted murder. I said, man, I ain't do no attempted murder. I ain't shot it. How you shot at me? No, I did not shoot at you. So we went back and forth. And here's how.
Big Marlon, good looking out, my man.
Yeah,
much love.
Income tax check, baby. Much love to you, Doc. Thank you. This is when another situation I'd been involved with at my house came into play. Some guys had broke into my house, and I found out who it was. I kicked their ass and put him in the car and took him to jail. And the cop, the detective who dealt with that case, he was on duty that night. He came to the holding tank. What you doing here? And we wasn't that tight. We weren't like we was tight or nothing, but he remembered me because the story what happened was so funny. He said, you did what? I said, man, these guys broke in my house. I kicked out. I threw him in the van and took him to jail. Okay. They got to jail and confessed. He thought it was the funniest shit in the world. Okay. So he remembered me and he remembered the story. And so he said, man, what happened? I told him what happened. I said, man, I shot up in there. I didn't shoot nobody. So now because it's attempted murder, I'm trying to get the hell out of jail as soon as possible. So I called my pops. I have my own bail money. Just go get me out. So I had to put up, my bail was $12,000, put up $1,200. Got out of jail that morning. The next day, the cop that I talked to had to drop down to brandishing discharging a firearm in the city limits. And then I had to end up paying a fine or some dumb shit, but I still ended up spending $1,200 unnecessarily. So that was the dumb part. But again, I never liked jail. I went to substation. I didn't like the substation. It was not my kind of place. And it just was one of those situations, man. I learned a couple of times that's not for me. That ain't for me. It ain't for nobody, but that really ain't what I'm trying to do. So I steered away from a lot of stuff that most cats would thought I was either a buster or whatever. Fuck y'all. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. I ain't got to prove shit. Validation is for parking tickets. I ain't got to get validated by nobody.
Yeah, and it just didn't stay with you during that time. I remember you saying that after the police pulled you over or you came in contact with police after that, they treated you differently when they read your history and saw that you had a prior gun case.
Man, from that point on, every time they pulled me over, they came out like I robbed a bank, a fresh bank with a bag of money in the car. Get out of the car, hands up, me and my girl both, everybody. But what the fuck is going on? They had me labeled armed and dangerous. They had me labeled as armed and dangerous, dude, and they stayed on my ass. This is why I left. This is why I left Eve After Dark and started doing business at Dudos. I couldn't come down San Pedro or Avalon or El Segundo. I'd always had to go up to back streets like the Broadway. I had to come around the back, come the back way, come to my house. Because if the sheriff saw me, they were gonna pull me over. And when they came hard, dude. I never got beat up, nothing like that. But dude, I had guns stuck in my ear, behind my head. That's damn near as bad, man. I'm not bullshitting. And to see them coming, when they see you, whoo, and that light, I swear them lights on the police car got a little microwave in it, boy, because your ass get hot. The back of your neck get hot in the motherfucker. They got a little bit of microwave in them some bitches, man. They damn sure heat your neck up. They ain't no bullshit. And so, yeah, Doc, that kind of, and I was glad when I finally moved over here. LAPD don't know nothing about me, and it's just a whole different situation, dude.
Damn, dude, that's crazy, man. And there was no cameras around. You couldn't pull out your phone and record the altercation. You just had to, it was your word against them if you guys ever went to court, right?
And they always pull me over on a dark ass street or the alley or some shit like, man, come on, dude. I ain't that. You know what? I'm a brave dude, but I've always prided myself on my street smarts, dude. Dark alleys ain't the place to talk shit to the police at. Dark alleys, dark streets. Back then, dude, they didn't have LED lights with one street light lit up the whole damn neighborhood. No, they had the little bulbs, little dim ass bulbs, and some just would be out. So no, dude, it was not the place to be back in the day, man. And it's dude, and I think about some of the stuff that I had to deal with back in the day, and I see people dealing with stuff today. We had to deal with a lot of the same shit, but it was just in a different way because we were taught different. I wasn't trying to get a lawsuit to get I was never taught getting the ass whooped by the police was an opportunity to get a lawsuit. I know guys that have done that, pissed off the police, got an ass whooping and filed a lawsuit. Okay, I know guys that did that. I'm pissed off the police. I'm gonna get an ass. I'm gonna get me $250,000. Yeah, he got it. That nigga twitching like a motherfucker. That nigga still twitching today. He walk funny. He talk funny. He got his $250,000, but he ain't the same dude, man. So nah, man.
Dick ain't working or nothing.
Nah, man. Nah.
Yeah, nah. Let's talk about the cops a little bit. You used to tell stories. If you told stories on the show of your father avoiding certain streets. I don't know if it was Imperial or something. I can't remember, but he would avoid certain streets so he doesn't, have to get messed with by the police because it was like a magnet. When was your first bad experience with the police? What like the first one that you remember? Even if it was around your pops or like before when you were younger.
I just remembered one of my grandmother's neighbors had brought a Galaxy 500 back in like 60 something. I was a kid. And he had just bought it, real happy with it. And my dad used to cut lawns on my grandmother's street. And homeboy got this Galaxy 500 and he bought it like on a weekday or something like that. And that Saturday, he got fucked up by the police. They beat the shit out of it. They beat the shit out of this dude, man. And my old man said, "What did you do?" I'm a little kid ear hustling and shit, trying to figure out what's going on. He said, "I didn't do nothing. They beat me because I had a new car. They beat me because I had a new car. LAPD beat his ass because he had a new car. Nigga with a new car." Okay. And my old man, shortly after that, I think he'd already bought the Cadillac, but he had enough sense to keep us around the Cadillac. We had to go to certain parts of town. he put us in the car with him. And that was different. Back then, the cops, from what I experienced, had more respect for a family man. They might not beat you in front of your kid. Now, if you was at the street or at home acting a fool, they didn't give a damn about your kids. But if you was in the car with your kids or your wife, for the most part, depending on where you was at and the situation, you might get a pass. We never had a problem with that with my dad in the car. We were patrolled by Firestone at that time, and Firestone ain't never had a good reputation when it came to black folks. Never. No. So, and that was my introduction to the misconduct of the police when it came to black men. My dad, I can't recall him ever having an issue. My dad carried a gun everywhere he went. He carried the gun in his lawnmower truck. And I remember us getting stopped with the lawnmower truck, and the cop saw the gun and we never had a problem. He never went to jail for it. I never saw him put it in his waistband. None of that shit. I can say he was a gangster. He booked a little horses from time to time, but for the most part, he just had it for its protection. Because we got lawnmowers on the truck. He had money, cash money, and it was old 32. And that was his, what they call it, a wheel gun. That was his gun of choice, And I tried to do the same. And that had me carrying pistols. And his thing was, you rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. I tried that shit. They kept my ass in jail. I had to leave these motherfucking pistols alone. Okay, nah, I'm gonna stay out of the place where I need my gun at. That's what I'm gonna do.
Take your chance with the 12, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Hey, Stem has a good question bouncing off of this. He says, Stem Radio, shout out to Stem Radio, give them a subscribe.
Always.
Yeah. He says, I may have asked this before, but in Straight Outta Compton, the cops seem pretty racist. Was that how it was back in the day? For real, Lonzo?
Yeah, man. Well, when you saw the cops at Audio Achievements, that was Torrance, California. Torrance ain't never been black friendly to my knowledge. Okay. Torrance ain't, I never had a problem in Torrance. Oh, I'm sorry. I went to jail. The first time I went to jail was in Torrance. The first time I ever went to jail was in Torrance. Going down Torrance Boulevard, bad tags, ended up in the Torrance jail. Tags went for $35, but that might as well have been $350 back then. That was broke as a joke. We always warned about going to Torrance, even going to Alpine Village. Now, at Alpine Village, the event place, because it was Alpine Village and that was a German spot, they had a different relationship with the police. They didn't give us a whole lot of problems over there, but we was right by the freeway, and they made damn sure that we went straight back on the freeway. That was the deal with that. Alpine was over like 12 or 1 o'clock, and I think it was over about 12 or 1 o'clock. And police, if they had to show up, they pull up in the lot, they block off certain driveways, and you had one driveway off, and you had, if you lived in Torrance or whatever, you went that way. But if you lived in LA, your ass went back on the 110 and right back where you came from. The Dudo scene, that would have never happened. That would never have happened. I was watching Straight Outta Compton. I tried to watch Straight Outta Compton the other day. I couldn't watch it.
What Dudo scene? Remind us again.
It was a Dudo scene where Dre's brother was outside having a problem with the police, and Dre came outside and got arrested by the police. That never would have happened. First of all, Dudos was patrolled by Compton Police Department when I was there. So it was on my team already. That never would have happened. I had off-duty cops that I was paying that worked for me, and they was my cousin and my cousin's partners. So we didn't have that problem. I didn't have no problem with Dudos. As you very well know by watching some of these shows, I've had ex-cops that work for me at Dudos on the show. Reggie Sr., okay? I'm trying to get Huey Taylor, and he said he would come after you saw Reggie's show. Some of the other guys, that most of them are dead, but Reggie and Huey Taylor, who became the chief of police of Compton, they still buddies of mine. So we never had a problem. I could ride through Compton and get all kind of Compton. They never gave me no problem. Never. I went to jail one time in Compton for bad tags. I never liked paying tags, and I was out in shit about an hour and a half.
Yeah. But people swear they know you, they know your life, they know everything from that Straight Outta Compton movie. That's what trips me out. I see so many comments, and they be up like, you don't know, you ain't listened to the show.
If you use Straight Outta Compton as a reference to Lonzo, you about to get some serious misjudgments, Doc. Some serious misjudgments. I couldn't even watch it, man. I'm sorry, I couldn't watch it. It was so over the top, and it was so much heroic bullshit in there. I couldn't. Man, come on, man. As I've gotten older, I don't have time for a lot of bullshit. And some shit I can't give 2 hours to that. Especially I watch Muncie, I listen, I watch why you so ruthless, man? Come on, Eazy was not like that, dude. Eazy wasn't, he wasn't that kind of cat. He walked to a spot by himself, and your mama's over here. I got you. No, man, that's kind of, it looked good for the homies, but those who knew at that time how he did his business, come on, it wasn't like that. It wasn't that kind of party. It wasn't that kind of party. Compton wouldn't have had no Batarang. No, I don't think Compton had the Batarang. That was the
LAPD thing.
Yeah, Compton didn't have a Batarang. LAPD had the Batarang. So for the Batarang to come to Compton, you had to, especially that time, it was Compton PD at that time before it became sheriff. I don't even know if the sheriff had the Batarang. I know, the Batarang was strictly a LAPD thing because that was I can't think. Daryl Gates. It wasn't Sheriff Block. It was Daryl Gates. Daryl Gates. This little different kind of personality having ass. Yeah, he's the one that had the thing. So if people don't know, you can tell them anything, and that's the difference. Most of the people that see in the movie weren't even around back then. They were babies back then. Most of the people saw the movie. N.W.A. broke up in the 90s. Think about that. We in 2024. They broke up damn near 30 years. So if you're 30 years old, you was a baby you might not have been born when they were even together. Think about that. So you can run that bullshit past the kids. Now I see that a lot in hip hop, man. I see a lot of people are trying to insert themselves into the game in a major way, and they're talking to people who had never been around, even executives. I know I've seen situations I just walk away from them like, dude, you don't know nothing. So why are you in this? You're in a position, you're in a good position, but you're in a position just to fuck up some shit. Just enough to fuck up some shit. Okay?
Yep. Man, good conversation, dude. Shout out to the chat. We're almost halfway through, so let me remind everybody to hit that like button. If you have not already, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. And if you want to hear some real West Coast hip-hop history from the man who was there himself, paving the way for everybody back then. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. And one more thing before we move on, please do check out the Eve After Dark documentary on Amazon Prime. It's $1.99 if you want to rent it. It's a really good watch, especially if you love West Coast hip hop. I know a bunch of you in there. Shout out OG Steve has watched it. And we want to thank you guys so much for doing that. I want to talk a little bit more about the documentary, Lonzo. Just a couple more things about it. But before we do that, Hip Hop History has a good question. Hip Hop History says, we've talked about all your trials and tribulations. We talked about a bunch tonight. You facing that, attempted murder. We've talked about your mother-in-law dying on the way from a hit and run accident or a speeding accident. Hip Hop History says, how the F do you maintain such a great sense of humor after all you have experienced in the world of urban entertainment and business? Most would have bounced by now. And thank you again, OG Steve, with the dub 5. Love you, man. Thank you, bro.
Much love to you, Doc. Man, you know what? If you were around my family, I'm not the funny one. My sister and my brother were hilarious. My daddy was a funny dude. Humor is a part of my family. Okay. All my cousins, my kids, all of them. We sit around and laugh and joke and clown each other on a regular basis, man. And it's just, that's how you deal with certain things. I don't drink. I will drink. I'm not a big alcoholic. I'll smoke from time to time, but humor is my way of dealing with situations. And if you take this shit too serious, you would end up with a needle in your arm or a gun in your mouth or jumping out of some shit that you ain't got no business jumping out of. But I take everything and I just apply logic to it, and logic combined with some humor, and you can get a story told, man. And it's just how I deal with life. I've been in some scary situations and found humor in the scary situations, you know. And sometimes, you know, I had cops, had the motherfuckers laughing, man. Get the fuck out, go, just go, okay. I had cops laughing a couple times on some shit, man. You know, and you know they don't want to crack, but you ain't trying to be funny, but you didn't hit them with some shit that this motherfucker. Okay, cool. All right, man, go ahead. Okay. And one time I got pulled over by the police, man, and the cops was they jammed me up. They said, "Where you going so fast, man?" Officer, I got to piss. I got to piss bad, no man. Okay. Now either you gonna grab my dick and pull it out, or you gonna let me go find me a tree, man. Go home. Okay, simple as that. And thank you, Marlon. It is a Gemini thing. Okay. It is a Gemini thing. I mean, sometimes just keeping it real, dude. And that's just it, man. That's all I can tell you. I tell you something else. Hanging around dudes like Jeffy. Jeffy was, once I got to know him, hilarious dude, man. We laugh and joke. And I mean, I found humor has always been a great tension breaker whenever possible. That's just me. If you can make somebody laugh, you can break the ice and find out what kind of person they are, and that's just one of those things I've always used. I've been able to use that as one of my tools in life.
Yeah, you know, speaking of humor, one of the more humorous moments of the documentary, one that got quite a big laugh during its playing, was the Whittier story.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us the Whittier story again, man. Tell us the Whittier story. That's one of my favorites, bro.
You know, the Whittier story, man, is one of them stories, dude, that the cousin who was with me, he's still alive. We laugh about this from time to time. And I keep telling people, I've been DJing long before they had Technique turntables, dude. I was one of the workingest DJs for a few years. And I did all kind of events. When I started doing my thing, I was doing luau's, I was doing Russian parties with the hats and the big tall hats and the folks kicking and stuff. I would do doctors' parties, but I did a lot of Latino parties. And I don't know how I got this gig, but I was doing a quinceañera in the backyard over in Whittier. And Whittier always been Latino. I ain't seen no black folks in Whittier at all. None.
I live right next to Whittier, about stone's throw away from Whittier, where the girls are prettier.
I got the gig, and it was, you know, cholos. Hey, home, come on home. You know, my sister quinceañera, man. Got to the party, man. Everything was cool. And my cousin who came with me, he was in the service. He's a little short cat. And this one dude was walking around talking shit, man. If anybody mess with you, I'm a black belt in karate. I'll kick their ass, man. I kick their ass. A few minutes later, my cousin coming to me, he just, man, you want to hit this? And I don't smoke when I'm drinking, when I'm DJing. And he smoked some shit, man. He fucked up. And he gave him some sherm. He is shermed out of his mind, okay? He is irritating to no end. Few minutes later, the guy that was talking to the karate dude that was talking about kicking ass, he started getting into a fight, got his ass whooped. Fight breaks out, it's going down. It looks like one of the movies, those fights you see in the Westerns. You got two big old crews fighting. It's going down, folks. It's going down. Me and my cousins are the only black people in Whittier. I don't know what to do. All of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, the homeboy that booked me, hold on, Holmes. Let the DJ go, man. He ain't in this shit, man. Let the DJ go. Man, they parted the fight like the Red Sea. One group helped me grab my turntables, the other grabbed my speakers. We loaded my truck up. The other ones loaded my cousin's high ass, put him in the front seat, closed the door, gave me my money, and did not start fighting until I got to the driveway. I looked in the rearview mirror, they was back to fighting again. That's no bullshit. That's a true story. I got what I was telling somebody this morning. I was in the gym this morning. I don't think I ever told you this before. This is truth, another truth. First of all, folks, let me tell you something. I ain't got the lie to kick it. Okay? But sometimes some stories get triggered trigger my memory for different reasons. Today I'm in the gym, and a brother, I got talking to a cat in the gym. He didn't really know who I was. And we got to talking, and he was talking about Eazy Street. And I said, what about Eazy Street, man? Man, they was talking about how Eazy never walked in that street before. I said, hold on, man. Hold on. You just messed up. Why you say that? I'm the one that did Eazy Street. I showed him some pictures. I got my phone in the gym with me. I mean, I did that. I'm the one that made that happen. The reason why we did it, blah, 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 blah. So now everybody in the gym is in the conversation. Oh, man, one guy, what you think about the movie Straight Out of Compton, man? I said, dude, I told him, man, I couldn't watch it no more. I watched it a couple times. I tried to watch it over the holidays. I couldn't do it. Couldn't stand the bullshit. I said, the part that really pissed me off was the scene about how Eazy was trying to clown Dre about the jackets. And I said, let me tell you a jacket story. I'm going to tell you this true jacket story I told him today. I might have told you before. I'm going to tell you again today. I got a BMW 635. I'm cruising. I'm coming down. Me and Dre coming down San Pedro Boulevard, downtown in the 20s. Down in the 20s, because the freeway is toe up, but I know how to do the back streets. Man, all of a sudden, bam! Somebody hit the back of my BMW. I look up, it's a Latino family, about 19 motherfuckers in a Pinto. I'm like, God damn! They didn't hit the back of my BMW, and if you look it up on the back of a 635, the mufflers stick out just a little bit past the bumper, okay, so that the bumpers won't get the soot on there. So when they hit it, the muffler is held up by two big ass rubber bands, okay? Two big black rubber bands, so they give us some elasticity. They broke the rubber bands. Now my muffler is dragging, okay? But I'm in front of a cleaners, and there's a bunch of cholos in front of the cleaners. Now, I didn't talk all this shit about these essays in this Pinto, okay? I didn't say a whole bunch of racist shit. Oh, I was mad at the motherfucker, right? I said a whole bunch of fucked up shit. And they heard me. The cholos in front of the record store, the cleaners heard me, and they was in that cholo squat. I'm talking so much shit, they stood up. Said, oh, shit. So now, I don't know what to do. I walked over there and said, man, can I get a coat hanger? No, Holmes, we ain't got no coat hangers, man. What's all that shit you talking? I'm like, fuck. I just stepped in some shit, right? True story. It's honest to God on everything I love. Dre was in the car. Dre always was asleep. Dre got out the car. He got on the Wreckin Cru jacket. Hey, Holmes, what you know about the Wreckin Cru, man? He said, I'm Dr. Dre. That's Lonzo. Oh, okay, Holmes. I swear to God. They went in the cleaners, got me 4-5 hangers. They got up under the car, tied the hangers together, sit there and gave me and Dre dap. We signed some autographs and got the fuck up out of there without no hassle. Them jackets got us in and out of more shit than we could ever think about. That's no bullshit.
Hey, you have told that story, and that's a classic one. That's hilarious. That was too funny. Hey, someone else had a great question. Shout out to retired Senior Chief, U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service. If you are, in fact, a retired Senior Chief, appreciate your service. He or she or they says, Lonzo, out of all the people who sampled the world-class Wreckin Cru, who sampled it the best in your opinion?
Who sampled Wreckin Cru? Talk to me. I need my money.
Only one I know really is Master P, the obvious one.
Huh? Oh, Master P.
I said the obvious one is Master P.
Master P did it. He did like a remake, but yeah, that was the most profitable one. That's for damn sure. That thing went platinum, and I still get checks from that. They ain't like they used to be, but when I first started getting them checks, boy, I was a happy camper. I got married on one of them checks. That's how happy I was. I got married on one of them checks. Dumbass.
Hilarious. Let's talk more about the documentary for $1.99 on Amazon Prime, the Eve After Dark documentary. Tell us about your quote, fairy godmother, and how she had an impact on your life.
Man, you know what? Some people, and this dude, and I was talking to the guy just the other day, some people come into your life for a specific reason. They can call them angels. They can call them whatever. I don't know. And I call her my fairy godmother, Jeannie Billetary. Talked to her just the other day. We still tight to this day. I couldn't tell you if she's a man or she's a pretty woman, but I couldn't verify nothing because I ain't never did nothing like that. But she came She came around. I was doing Alpine Village for Uncle Jam or Roger or Unique Dreams at the time, and Roger's partner Gid was super cool with me. We never had a problem, and they knew each other because her daughter went to school with them over at Norbonne, and she wanted to DJ. She wanted to hire a DJ to do an event at Alpine Village. She saw how we was making money at Alpine. She wanted to give it a shot, and he turned me onto the gig. She was working with her was so cool. She put me up on a lot of game, man. One, she back then I was knocking down everything female that was moving. But I never knocked that one down. That was my intention, but I never knocked it down. Okay. And she taught me how to separate my dick from my brain and keep my money and my dick from separate. Okay. And I did. And we made money together. And she trusted me. She trusted me. And we played a role back in the day. Okay. Like I said, she drove a vet, a nice ass Corvette. And most of the time she throw me the keys and I'm button and I could drive a stick shift. It was a full speed. I bang that summer gun, pull up. I'm looking like, dude, all I needed was some Superfly music. Dun, 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 dun. I was on that level at that time, and I was opening the club up. And the club it didn't start off banging. Trust me, I ain't gonna lie. It started off a little slow, but she was there every week. Okay, she was there every week, win or lose. And if I lost, she go give me some money, make sure I had money for posters, make sure I made money had money for rent. And that right there, dude, was something I couldn't get from nobody in my family. Nobody had no money. Nobody was investing no money, and they didn't think I was gonna make it work. No way. She bet on me when nobody else bet on me. Okay. She bet on Lonzo. Okay. And for her to do that, and she had 4 daughters. 4 daughters, and well, she wasn't rich, but she hit a little lick, and she was trying to make that lick better. And I was kind of she was kind of depending on me to help her thing get better, and I didn't want to disappoint her and lose her money, so I was grinding, and we finally hit that lick, and the Eve jumped off. Man, that was a good time for everybody, and I just nicknamed her my fairy godmother. And I told every woman I've ever dealt with, if she call me for something, and you flip on her, pack your shit. Okay, pack your shit. If she called here looking for me, that's when you had house phones. Okay, if Jeannie Military called looking for me, or you see her and you see me talking to her, and you trip on her, get your shit and get the fuck out of here, because you ain't on my team. She been on my team since day one. She been on my team since 1979. She's an original. Okay, so that it don't come no better than that, and she's proven herself. And like I said before, we still in communication, Doc. So it's real hard to have somebody that not in your family that just believe in you. And when somebody believes in you, you got to look out for them, dude. You got to look out for them. And I was able to play. I was able to pay it. She paid it forward, and it helped me to pay it forward. I just never got paid back though. And here's the crazy part: Yella don't know nothing about her. Dre don't know nothing about her. She was a part of my early career, and they have no idea she existed. In fact, people who saw the documentary, one of my partners who I've been knowing for about 20 years, didn't know I had done as much as I had done. He called me, he said, man, I bought the documentary, man. Negro, I didn't know you did all that shit. Yeah, man. And see, this is the one about the Eve, the one that's being edited right now, N.W.A. Now I'm not Lonzo. Shit. That's gonna tie it all together. That's gonna tie it all together, because I got Curtis Blow in this one. I got Steve. I got a bunch of folks. I can't figure out who was all. I got my original manager, Swamp Dog, in this one. He was my manager before anybody was, and he's an artist. He's 80 years old and still doing shows to this day. He's the one that taught me everything I learned about the independent music business. He was my mentor, and I just talked to him yesterday. He got a documentary coming out. It was picked up in South by Southwest, and I'm planning to go to Texas and support that documentary. So yeah, folks, it's these people. Like I told Swamp Dog yesterday, I met Swamp Dog through his daughter. I was dating his daughter, and she brought me home to meet him. And me and her broke up a few weeks after I met him, after we hung out for a while, and me and him still going strong. Shit, 40-some years later. And it's just some people just play a role in your life, man, that you know, a conduit to an end. And Fairy Godmother was one, Swarm Dog was another one. And I'm not like a lot of people. I don't forget where I come from, dude. I don't forget those who helped me. I can't do that. I wasn't raised that way.
Damn, that's that history, man. Hey, let me ask you where. Hold on. What was I about to ask you? Oh, you know what? You said business started off slow. When did you realize? You know what? When did business start picking up and you started to realize, damn, I think I have something?
I brought Cameo down here.
Ooh, break it down. I don't know if we know this story.
I was hanging out with my partner, brother named Lewis Harper. I was in the record pool and called it R&B Disco Truth. That's how it was, R&B and disco. Wasn't no hip hop truth, okay? And his car broke down. He needed a ride to go up to pick up some records from Beverly Hills. And I didn't really know his brother. I knew his brother-in-law. I didn't know how powerful he was at the time. Guy's name is Gerald Busby. Look him up. He died a few years back. Gerald Busby was his brother-in-law. And Gerald was a cool dude. And I'm a 22-year-old kid in Gerald Busby's office, come to get some free records. I'm going to get the free records. And Gerald asked me in front of Lewis, hey man, Cameo is coming to town. I got a gig for him Thursday and Friday. You got anything from a place we can take him on during the week, like maybe Wednesday? And I'm like, are you this motherfucker serious? And I'm like a kid. I'm like, I got a club. What club you got? I said, Eve After Dark. He said, Lewis, he got a club. I said, yeah, you know where this Jeffy's. And he knew where Jeffy's was. And he says, you want Cameo to come to your club? That's like somebody saying, man, you want Lil Wayne to come to your club, do a walkthrough? But back in the day, you couldn't get no bigger than Cameo. Unless you had Prince or Mike. Cameo, yeah. He said, okay, cool. They'll be there tomorrow. What time you want them at? About 9 o'clock. Man, I left there running. I ran. Went to K-Day. Went and grabbed me $100. I said, I need $100. I bought $100 worth of live read commercials. $100. Back then, they was $10 a spot. All they said was tonight, the Eve After Dark Cameo live in person at Eve After Dark. Avalon El Segundo upstairs. That's all they said. They said it. They started saying it at noon, and they said it every hour until 10 o'clock that night. And that was on a Wednesday night. I met him on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, I had Cameo. And man, people thought I was lying. They was phone blowing up. Cameo coming? Yeah, Cameo coming. And it was two type of people came. Two type of people showed up that day. The ones that came to see Cameo and the ones to see if I'm lying or not, okay? And they were skeptical. All them niggas were skeptical. Oh, they were skeptical. They ain't nowhere in the world Cameo coming to the hood. But if they coming, I'm going to be there. Man, dude, we got to the club. We had a line wrapped around the club like we was giving away free cheese, okay? We was giving away free cheese. And Jeannie was there, and the crew was there. And see, Cameo, look at the old album cover. I think it was the Cameosis album cover, the blue and white one, like light blue and white. Cameo, back then, most of the bands traveled with the horn section and everything. Lead singers, rhythm section, and horn section. So they may have 9 guys traveling. Same thing with Confunction. Same thing with a lot of the big bands. They traveled in the whole band would travel. Larry Blackman didn't come. Nathan Lefton didn't come. They sent the horn section. But they also gave me what they call flats. And flats are album covers, just the front of the album cover. And they gave me some albums, okay, to give out. So when them girls looked at the albums, looked at them brothers, that's them right there. Them Negroes was point man. They didn't care about the rest of them. They thought people from the album cover. That's all it was. My credibility went through the roof, okay? As somebody that's bringing people to the hood. And man, the Eve After Dark, that was a Thursday. I'm saying I can't forget it was a Wednesday or a Thursday. I'm gonna say it was a Wednesday. That Friday, man, that line was around the corner again. Dude, you swear Cameo was coming back. I didn't look back for almost 18 months, man. I didn't look back for 18 months. We was making money hand over fist for 18 months after that, dude. I went from minimum wage and damn near broke to about 7, 8 racks a week at 22 years old.
Nice. And this is 70s, 80s, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't 2024. That was some good money back then, bro.
5, 6 racks a week at 22 in the 80s. You buy a whole lot of gas. Man, I bought a house cash. I paid cash for my first house just to get rid of the money. Because I had so much of it, dude. It was just ridiculous. I mean, not to say I have so much of it, not that I was balling out of control, that it just I didn't know what to do with it. I had it in a safe, dude. I had it in a safe. The safe was locked up, but I lived like a dope dealer. I didn't go nowhere. I was afraid to leave my house. They had broken into my house a couple times. They never found my safe. They always found my water bottle. That's how the cop. Oh, remember I tell you this about the cop? I took some guys to jail. They broke into my house.
Okay, yeah, I know that story. Yeah,
I had 2 guys who broke into my house on a regular basis. They were sherm heads, and they always took my sparkless water bottle. At Eve, I deal with a lot of kids, so I would always get a lot of change. I wasn't counting that change. I only counted the bills. So I take one of the big glass water bottles and just drop the change in the water bottle. And I would use it for my Christmas money. And the few times they didn't get it, my biggest mistake was the water bottle was right it's set by a window, and the window was in direct line with a door. So if you came in my house and looked in that bedroom, you could see the water bottle sitting right there. Okay, so when cats came by, when they came by the house, they saw it sitting there. So they would break in the window. The window were no bars at that time. I didn't have any bars on my window. So they just opened the window, grabbed the bottle, and go in my own backyard and bust it behind the garage. But they would get shermed out. They got shermed out on the money. And I put out a reward one day, and I put out a $100 reward, whoever broke into my house. And one of my neighbors, he was a little slow, but he told on there, I know who did it. It was them 2 right there. And I said, come here. And I slapped the shit out of one of them, and I hit another one with a brick. Man, I'm sorry. We sorry. Get in the goddamn truck. And I drove their asses right to the Carson police station. I am not bullshitting. I drove their ass right. I did a report, and I said, hey, man, these 2 are the ones broke into my house. They took him back in the back. I'm waiting in the lobby trying to figure out what's happening. I'm waiting like an hour and a half to pass by. And I said, hey, man, I brought 2 guys in who broke in my house. What happened? Oh, nobody told you? What happened? Oh, they confessed. You can go. And the cop that was the detective was the one that let my ass escape, had my shit knocked down later on in my other case. Yes, true story. And you wonder why I got a sense of humor? That's some funny shit. That's some real shit.
You can't write nothing like that. You can't write shit like that.
That's what I mean. The cop got cool. The cop came out laughing. He said, man, what did you do? I told him, I said, I slapped the shit out of one and hit the other one with a brick. They hopped in the car like 2 puppies. They didn't put up no fight. He said, man, they back there talking. They back there blaming each other and said, this is the funniest shit in the world. If it had been today, we'd have took a picture on that shit. No bullshit. Cop's name was Detective Rusnick. Rusnack. I couldn't pronounce it at first. That's who it was. Detective Rusnick. Probably been retired 30 years now.
Dog, before we go, you got to tell us about the ride up there. I mean, did you have a pistol on? Like, talk about the ride up there, dog. That's a hilarious story. I
slapped the one dude and hit the other one with the brick. His mama came outside. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. I ain't gonna kill him. I knew his whole family. So I wasn't gonna kill him. But I'm tired of you breaking into my house. So I threw him in the back, man. They back in the back, just kicking it. Man, and they lying, man. I ain't do nothing, man. I don't know why you slapped me. I don't know why you hit me with that brick, man. That's fucked up. We supposed to be home. No, we ain't like that. Niggas be trying to make you feel, man, we going to jail.
He said we supposed to be homies. Motherfucker, you breaking into my house, dog.
Here's the bad part, man. One of the dudes used to be one of my roadies. That's the bad part. Used to work for me. That's how you know I had money in the house. One of the guys was my roadies. He got on that shit, and I had to, we rolled down to jail, man, like it was nobody's business. And they went back there and told on themselves.
That's one of the funniest stories I've heard in a long time, bro.
They straight told on themselves. No problem.
Damn, dude, that's too funny. Hey, before we go, Lonzo, let's get one more question in. Boom, boom, boom. Someone asked, hey, Lonzo, before K-Day, what radio stations, shout out to Art Chavez. Lonzo, before K-Day, what radio stations did you advertise Eve After Dark on?
KACE, Willie Davis's radio station, badass radio station. It was right there in Watts on 110th. Willie Davis had a Miller beer distribution company right there in Watts, and he also had a radio station in one of the offices. And it was really cool because I'd go in there, man, and kick it with the DJs. They had the cat, one of the guys that was there, his name was Lonzo Miller, and we got along because we both had the same name. And his other guy's name was Eazy Wiggins, had a real deep voice. And he was, hey, Alonzo, how you doing today? And we come back and kick it. I never forget, I got to say this. I was in the DJ booth because I'm a good customer. I'm every week. I'm dropping 300. I'm dropping 300 every week. And I'm sitting in the DJ booth, and homeboy, he had just got the first Tina Marie album. The first Tina Marie album. And he played the cut. And he played some more cuts. I'll never forget the program director walking into the station and getting on his ass for playing so much Tina Marie. Because that first Tina Marie album was a mother, man. That was the shit. But he didn't get fired, but he got sweated because he played so many cuts from the album, and they wasn't supposed to do that. Only supposed to play one song. But back then, DJs had a lot more flexibility, and he just figured he would do his shit. And yeah, that was one of my first ones. Then I went to KGFJ, like Mr. Manuel said. We went down there. That's Andre's ass, unknown, down there with Kevin Fleming, rest his soul, my good dude. And
shout out unknown DJ.
Kevin Fleming was the first one that we had a real sweet. I buy me some advertising, and then he give me some promos and give away tickets and shit like that. Oh, we had it going on. And yeah, Doc, all of them got sold, man. And then I moved to K-Day. Be honest with you, I'm gonna say this right now. Before Greg Mack, KGFJ was playing hip hop before anybody was. But they only had a small ass station and a weak ass signal. If you went downtown LA, you couldn't hear KGFJ signal. It was only for the hood. But they were the first ones I remember playing hip hop before Greg got to LA. KGFJ was playing hip hop, not all night, but they had a nice ass show. And
late night, probably like 11 p.m. midnight type shit.
Something like that. But that's why I felt comfortable advertising with them. And then I went to K-Day.
Damn, that's that real history, West Coast history. That's a great way to wrap it up. Lonzo, you have any last words before we head out?
Check out the documentary, folks. You know where it's at on Amazon Prime. $199 to rent, $499 to purchase, folks. Support the brother. I appreciate it. Much love to all y'all. Everybody in the chat room, whether you drop something or not, much love to you for taking your time out and kicking with me and Dusty this afternoon, folks. It's always a pleasure.
Yep. Always a pleasure. Hit that like button, please. And also make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Hit him with that rap, Lons.
All right, folks. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck ice cube in the freezer till he got cold. On the Eve After Dark, 50-yard line Super Bowl. In my movie Straight Out of Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than some of y'all will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace.